What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It is Thursday, November 21st. I'm Clark Taylor. We had Dynamite last night. We got full gear this weekend. I'm stoked to break it all down. I apologize if you tuned in for a WWE show. You got an AEW show today, but we have a sweet crew on a Thursday to break it all down. First and foremost, not a Tuesday. As I previously mentioned, it is, in fact, Thursday. But get your twos up for the Tuesday Night Delight. Out in the DMV, Shotty, what is good?
What is good, Clark? It is good to be here, man. I feel like I haven't done an AW show, but I may have done one last week, so I might be tripping. But it's always good to be here. I haven't been on Wrestling Republic Daily as much this week. As you see, every time I'm on camera, the room looks a little bit more emptier. It's probably the last daily you will see me in this area. I am moving, so be excited for the setup next week. It's going to be dope, but let's get it, man.
Absolutely. I'm fired up to get into it. And of course, it can't be an RC Thursday without my fellow RC host of Take It to the Table. Chaos is back again. We're starting to get in a rhythm with these shows with you, me, and Chaos. What's good, Chaos?
What's good, everybody? Happy Thursday. You know what that means. Just to let you know, everybody, that Shad is saying that he's moving out. That's not the case. He's getting he got his P45. He's not gonna be here any part of the team anymore. So we're just clearing out his office. That's what we're doing. So by orders of Ben, I don't know. He's probably pissed the boss off. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. Happy Thursday. Let's get straight to it, to this AEW show, shall we?
I'm stoked about it. Let's talk about it. Okay.
I see myself out of here. Sorry, guys. Goodbye.
I'm actually just going to finish the move right now. Thanks, guys. Have a great show. All right. Okay. First segment of the night, of course, we've got Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly all cutting promos related to the same storyline. So we've got 3/4 of the Undisputed Era on last night's show cutting promos. We were Bobby Fishless, but that's neither here nor there. And then, of course, Max going below the belt. I thought of the 4 promos, to me, the most entertaining one was Max. Yes, it was probably the nastiest comment you can make about a human being, considering how true what happened was. But I do understand a lot of people have the same sentiment here as Deontay Belladonna does, which is this feud is a waste of time. It's been convoluted. It's been difficult. I know there's a lot of wait and see here. It's starting to get down to the point where we got to do something about it a little bit. Roddy Strong's promo in response, it's a very tough thing to respond to. There's no doubt about it, especially given the truth to it. I thought that was probably the second best. Cole and O'Reilly's promos did not really feel significant to me, and that's where I was thrown, because I actually believe both are good promos. I think O'Reilly's an underrated promo, and I think Cole generally delivers on the microphone. Did not feel that way last night, and that was kind of shocking to me. You got the bat in the late innings here. Take a bigger swing is the way that I felt about it, at least coming out of it. Not to make a big old baseball analogy out of this, but when it comes to these 4 promos, I'm going to start with you, Shad. What were your thoughts on everything? And I mean, with the Devil storyline, it's looking like it should have just been Max the whole time.
Yeah. It seems like it is just the over course correction. I feel like we've tried to go in so many different directions to try to get this story to mesh and be something fresh and new, and it just isn't delivering as much as the fans and ourselves want it to be. And I agree with you. I feel like some minor, simple things could have altered it and got us on the right track. End of the day, I want it to be the sole focus, Max versus Adam Cole. The other counterparts tied to it, I don't care as much. I understand that we have Cole part of the Undisputed Kingdom. I understand all the parallels with him and Max being partners and, you know, Roddy having issues with it, Roddy being super, you know, to the hip and, you know, worrisome about what Adam Cole does and everything to it. But now it's just gone in so many different directions. And I think you kind of broke it down well. Adam Cole's and the Kyle O'Reilly factor of it last night was a head scratcher. It didn't move me much. There wasn't anything in that direction that made me excited for the storyline. And it's dragging the excitement for Adam Cole and Max away from me, which is unfortunate because this was a hot feud or a hot storyline a little bit ago. Obviously, injuries happened and it took a different path, but this was something that had all of us excited a year ago, man. You know, just everything with the friendships to the turn, all of it. It was something that was great. The main thing that I take away last night, like you mentioned, was the MJF promo. Now, this is something that comes with a lot of controversy. People are, you know, very sensitive on bringing real life into kayfabe, right, with storylines, and a very real situation being into the storyline. It might shrug people the wrong way. It doesn't help Max's character in the people because they feel like he has to always hit below the waist, you know, try to get nuclear heat. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not even a huge MJF fan. If it's out there and open, if Roddy's talked about it in the landscape of professional wrestling, nothing is off limits. Yeah. Nothing is off limits. I'm sorry to y'all. Like, I come from the world of battle rap. I've heard worse things said to me about others. This is supposed to get you invested into hating Max even more. And we have a pay-per-view. There's not a lot of steam going in between Max and Roddy. So it's kind of a little bit of a Hail Mary for him to bring out some extra fire to it. Did I like it? I don't necessarily loved it, right? But I'm not going to say that he's wrong for doing it when that's kind of the thing that's led to there. And my last part is this, before obviously Roderick Strong, you got to sell me more in this feud. His promo last night was what irked me a little bit because I know it's a tough thing to talk about, but if y'all discussed it, y'all are performers, y'all are wrestlers, you got to make me believe it. You got to have a little bit more fire to it. I didn't see the fire. It came off very, you know, nonchalant, typical stuff. Oh, I heard this. You're a bully, like type of situation. I get it. That might be a real situation, but how am I going to root for you, man? I want to see you have that fire under your ass where you want to destroy this man because he disrespected your family. He disrespected your family. So that's kind of where it had me a little frustrated with him. And, you know, he could have learned from Big Boom AJ how to cut a promo a little better. That's all I got to say.
That was one of the better promos of the night. Big Boom was dialed in.
It was.
I'll give credit where it's due. Big Boom AJ was dialed in last night. Now, here's one thing I will definitely say, though, about the Max part of the promo, right? I was watching the show, half paying attention and eating dinner. As soon as he said the line about Roddy's parents, it was a classic head snap, like, look at the TV. And I'm locked in. I'm like, I can't believe he said that. And that you deserve credit for. It is mean and it's deep, but it really did, to me, put us in a spot where I want to see the match more than I did before. To your point about the Roddy promo, though, I see exactly where you're coming from. You'd think there'd be just a skosh more fire after a line like that because he followed that line. This is where it was interesting, though. Did you notice he did the, like, yeah, my mom was an addict. Yeah, my dad was an addict. Yes. I thought he was going to try to go Eminem and sort of hit it like that.
And
he kind of messed it up. And I actually thought the promo got thrown off because the way the delivery came out.
I can see that, actually.
It didn't land like that. I think that was the intention, which would have been great if delivered properly, but that's just speculation on my part. That was like where my instincts went right away. My mom's in the comments. She was watching it with me. She said, yep, 100, 100. Deontay Belladonna's laughing as well. And then
he said it forced his wife to mute the TV funny thing is, I watched it with my wife last night too, and she said, "Yeah, the Costco guy. That's the reason I made that meme." She's like, "The Costco guy is a better talker than that guy is."
Yeah, I mean, it was. I will say this when it comes to the Costco guy thing, because he's not on the list here. But let's talk about it for 1 second before I toss it to Chaos when it comes to all of this shenanigans. But it was the most vintage pro wrestling promo I've seen on TV in a long time. Like, it felt like 90s and 80s. Just and that's what I think
you could tell he's from that
so much
era
fun
too,
about
so,
it. It's like, say whatever you will about, we don't need the Costco guys on TV for it was entertaining, and that's what matters. It was fun.
No
you can't have fun with
harm.
that. What can you have fun with? It doesn't hurt anybody. It was good old
The
fashioned fun.
dude is living his dream. I'm happy for him, man. You could tell
Yes.
he's a former wrestler. He an old head. He probably, like you said, an 80s, 90s wrestling fan. He probably felt like Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan in the flesh at that moment. So
100%. I totally agree. Now, Chaos, I want to get your thoughts on all of this, all the shenanigans. Obviously, we've got the MJF Roddy match this Saturday coming up at Full Gear. I'm excited about that one because I really do think Max is going to just absolutely hurt him. That's one thing that can really help this storyline is and shove it in Adam Cole's face. That's what I'm looking forward to most, but the rest of it is so convoluted. Can you make some sense of it for me, Chaos?
No one can. No, not even the world's best director could try and right these wrongs. I'll never forget when Adam Cole came back. He was in the ring and he just did the Kanye West shoulder shrug. He was just like, we're in this position right now. Let's just be along for the ride. I kind of wish that they actually binned it and this, one of them things like they just don't finish. AEW is very good at not finishing storylines. This could have been easily one of them, but they're trying to make, an absolute banging salad out of a crap sandwich. Replace the word crap with another word. But yeah, it's the promos. I'll be honest, I haven't seen MJF promo yet. So, but the way your guys talking about it, I will definitely see it after the show. It's been a mad day for me, but yeah, I did see Adam Cole's and Kyle O'Reilly's promo, and yeah, it just came off like just very corny to me, especially Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure he was better at promos in this, but in this one, he just sounded like a whiny. It just sounded so what's the right word? Just telegraphed. It was just very formulaic. Like it literally felt like he was reading a sheet of paper whilst giving that promo, and it just felt flat. Adam Cole, he's Adam Cole. He never has a bad promo. And obviously whatever MJF said, I know it's going to be fire. I think if anything, that's what saved this feud, if anything. But yeah, there's been no momentum coming out of this. I feel like they should have just left it when MJF did the brainbuster to Adam Cole, and then just left it there when MJF came back. But yeah, this is like just kicking a dead horse. So but yeah, I agree. I hope that MJF actually destroys Roderick Strong, give him the Daniel Garcia treatment, and then yeah, Adam Cole and MJF at World's End. And obviously that would make sense. That's pretty much a year to that day. Yeah. Almost a year to that day when they actually turned on each other. So, or when Adam Cole turned on MJF. But yeah, I did not care for the promos from any of those three, minus MJF, which I'm sure I'm going to watch afterwards. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you. MJF definitely was the standout performer amongst these four promos last night, which is interesting that we saw this much time given on a Dynamite that's a go-home show. Mm-hmm. 4 separate promos for one storyline. That's not something you see often. Like, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
And to Kobe with the wrench, obviously Kobe somebody special.
Yeah.
Are you gotta account for Adam Cole though. Adam Cole can cut a promo.
Yeah.
He's just giving a crap storyline at the moment. But that man can cut a promo. Like Chaos would say, he's trying to make chicken salad with chicken dookie. He can't do much in the situation, bro. Like that's hard for any actor. You think Denzel going to show out on one of the worst written scripts? He ain't gonna have his best, movie of all time with that.
I mean, that's where, like, honestly, at this point with what the storyline is, it's like the eggs are already broken. Let's try to at least make an omelet out of this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot that's too late that can't be kind of reversed now, but let's see if we can get something out of it, because I think we're all very aware of the amount of talent involved in the storyline. And I think that's why it's so easy to put it under a microscope, right? Is the expectation is so high with everybody involved in this. You would there's more to be desired. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Phrasing there. Yeah, I just short circuited live on air. Didn't even see that. Let's head over to basically the women's division, aka the TBS Championship division here. We've got Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida, two, I don't want to say AEW originals, but AEW originals, basically, right? We, early to mention when we're talking about the women's division, Statlander picks up the victory here. Then we've got, of course, Camille and Mercedes Moné coming down. Mercedes drops a little Celtics reference on the Philly crowd. Love that. A little cheap heat. It cracked me up, though. It's just funny.
It was a good line. It was a good line. I'll give it that.
It was a good line. It was like unexpected.
Celtics are good. I can't hate.
It got me. I don't even love the Celtics for any reason. I just thought it was a funny line. Like, I got to give her credit where it's due. But either way, it's looking like Stat versus Moné here. And Moné obviously bragged about holding the title for longer. Statlander being an AEW original. I think this is a fun matchup, but this has some of the same problems as the last segment. We've just seen too much flipping and flopping. It's like it's like a beached whale. It's just rolling around. Chris Statlander's out here. She's good one day, she's bad the next. She's an alien at one point. I mean, she's doing boops, she's not doing boops. I don't get it. And then all of a sudden, it's her and Moné, and I'm kind of for Moné. Also, Jay Rodriguez said, "I love you, Solo," all caps. So I had to mention that before.
Solo.
Before I toss this to you, Shad. But yeah, what are your thoughts on, first off, the match last night between Statlander and Shida, and then the follow-up we're going to get to see between Stat and the CEO?
Man. Okay, first and foremost, great match. Like you said, two women who have become the stars that they are today to the public eye in AEW. They may not be originals. They have their starting ground elsewhere. Excuse me if I don't know exactly where it is. That's neither here or there. They've definitely become superstars in AEW. So it's good to see them have a great match. I love both of their in-ring work. So we'll leave that there. My issue is exactly what you were mentioning. Two, maybe three big things. The first thing, Chris Statlander's booking has been abysmal since she's returned from injury. They had her abruptly end Jade's, dominant reign. After that, a very lukewarm title reign. The stuff with Willow was good, and she really established herself as a good heel and established herself with Stokely. Why all of a sudden she's back to being a babyface? Why you broke up a good pairing, in my opinion, with her and Stokely without any actual explanation? It leaves me dumbfounded, and it kind of has all of us confused, because I think the fans are still like, well, we're supposed to not like you because you kind of turned on your best friend and you did all that. Like, why should we want to root for you? They didn't let it breathe a lot. And I always said it, man. I said it a year ago before she went heel. Her bread and butter is being a heel. She looks like a heel. She's got the dark aesthetic look to her. She's a powerhouse. She's a beast. She has just a dominant force to her. She's good served as a heel, or you should at least let her do that. I know people love her, but that's neither here or there. My main concern is our TBS champion and her lack of a heavy. Camille has been horribly booked in AEW. And I know everyone's going to go ahead and say the booking is the main thing. She was a big-time star in NWA. I heard it all. This ain't the NWA, guys. she is who she is also. We got to keep it real, man. Stephon Marbury at 40 years old can drop 100 points for the Shanghai Sharks. She's in the NBA now. She got to find her way in, and she ain't find her way in. I haven't seen anything very convincing for her, even as a heavy. As a security guard, she doesn't look imposing, and they're making her look super weak. She's getting punked out by Mercedes all the time, and she just got thrown out with her little, sling. How are y'all going to take her serious after this? Come on, man. Camille is really, really she's in hot water and in danger in the women's division at the time, bro. Like, I'm really concerned about what's going to happen. Her Mercedes, she's getting real go away heat. They're telling her to STFU. I will fight all those fans from you, Mercedes Moné. I will fight them all for you. Don't let them talk to you like that.
I do think, though, Shad, you made an outstanding point there about Camille, because this is where it's interesting. On paper, the expectation is that she's the heavy, she's the muscle, right? But she's actually coming across as the lackey that takes the beatings for Mercedes Moné. It's like a role reversal thing. It makes no sense. It doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. You have, as an enforcer, you got to be enforcing. I don't see the fear in her. I see the dominant. She's taller, she's strong, she looks like she's supposed to be an imposing threat, but she's not an imposing threat. Like, she makes Raquel Rodriguez look like Kevin Nash.
I think that's kind of the goal with Raquel right now, but that's impressive, by the way, that Camille was able to do that. I'm kidding, Shad. That's outstanding. Okay, really quickly before we move to our next topic, I got to talk to you guys. Considering we're all wrestling fans here, we're all here, we're hanging out in the middle of the day for some, at the end of the day for others, but we're talking about wrestling and we're enjoying most of it. Let's talk about Demand Progress Plus. If you haven't already signed up for this, this is one of the best tape libraries out there. Absolutely excellent content. Not only that, we're going to give you a deal. Use code WATCHPROGRESS1. You're going to get 50% off that first month. This is the home of Progress Defy. Many more promotions. Some of your absolute favorites have classics on this platform. Not to mention, the current product is off the charts. So you'll get the pay-per-views. You'll get every chapter. Check it out one more time. I'll give you that code. Use code WATCHPROGRESS1. That's 50% off your first month. Trust me on this one. You will not regret it. Speaking of things that I don't know when it comes to this topic, if the Lashley promo is really what we're supposed to talk about, or if it's
I don't know what
Swerve running in. This may have been a graphics issue.
Yes.
Shoot that one up the chain of command. It's either Kobe or Ben's fault.
It's the match, both. Right? And he
he squashed two guys. I saw it. I remember it was last night. He squashed two guys. One of them was named Cheeseburger. I was smashing a cheeseburger myself, actually, at the time of the match. And he got the victory over both. What do you mean by that? My mom and I ordered A's Burger. It was great. I'd fried zucchini and onion rings too. It was delightful. Just absolutely splurged on a Wednesday night. It was late birthday celebration for my mom. We had red wine too. we went fast food and red wine. We went fast food, red wine, and wrestling. You can't tell what's going on with that. But either way, Bobby Lashley, it's not really about that promo because I don't think it happened, but Swerve's music hits, big pressure hits, Nana at the top of the ramp with a chair. Swerve is hiding basically in kill shot gear with a giant chain wrapped around his hand. I loved this. I was delighted by this. And I love the Swerve Bobby Lashley stuff. The only thing that bothers me about this entire storyline so far is Shelton felt like such a huge deal until Bobby showed up. And that is my only, I wish we could have gotten more legs out of the initial pop for Shelton Benjamin, the initial steam behind Shelton Benjamin. Not that he's been devalued, just slightly overshadowed. And to me, that's the only flaw I see so far, because I cannot wait to see Swerve and Bobby Lashley lock it up eventually here, especially in AEW with time. That is going to be a Ken Griffey Jr. 97 slugfest, and I know it. Chaos, I'm looking forward to it. So don't talk to me about Bobby Lashley's promo that didn't happen, but do talk to me about the handicap match squash, as well as the fallout after the match involving Nana and Swerve.
I'm still kind of hung up on you mashing cheeseburgers. That's the wrong terms of words, bro. I'm surprised that
I was eating it fast.
Chad didn't even say "Hey yo," like.
Yeah, that probably did deserve a pause.
That was something. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, the promo that never happened. I mean, there was some good. There was some intriguing segments that involved the Hurt Syndicate. Like obviously, I think there was MVP and Shelton like clubber someone that was wearing Swerve's gear in backstage. But the match, I mean, if you want to call it a match, it's a Lashley was being Lashley. Lashley was Lashleying. That's all I can say. Wasn't anything different. I don't think he's going to do anything different compared to what he was doing in the other place. But he still looked great. That guy, he just doesn't age. Like this. Imagine this guy has looked the same for almost 20 years. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'm excited to see the match. I see what you mean about as soon as Shelton gets overshadowed, as soon as Lashley comes in. As soon as you just said that reminded me that instantly brought me back to when it was Roman Reigns and The Rock, when it was the presser. As soon as The Rock shows up, Roman Reigns gets nerfed. Yeah, he was in the background. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. And you know, once Rock is out of the picture, Roman is again the tribal chief. It's just one of those things. But yeah, Shelton's still gonna do his thing. Lashley and Swerve is gonna have a great match. I know it. At the end as well, where he diverted Shelton with Prince Nana at the ramp. And then MVP just absolutely clueless, acting like Stevie Wonder, not knowing, like, even though Swerve was right beside him. Yeah. And then clocks him, and he does an interesting ring out Swerve. He did some Circus du Soleil thing. It was quite smooth. Hit the last shot, or whatever he calls it, and then runs into the crowd. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I don't think he's gonna win. Lashley needs to destroy him and humble Swerve, continue this downward trend that he's lost ever since he's lost the championship. He hasn't really been the same. Whether that means he's gonna dump down the line, I don't know, but yeah, Lashley needs to win this. And then Swerve can obviously find his way back. Kind of, you know, I don't know if this is going to lead to him eventually joining the Hurt Syndicate. You know, if you can't beat them, join them kind of situation. Yeah. But yeah, I'm here for it. That if anything, out of all the matches that's happening at Full Gear, this is the one I'm most looking forward to. I don't care for Moxley and Cassidy. I don't care for and Fletcher and Ospreay. But these two.
Flowchart and Ospreay. That's what I've been calling.
Oh, also. Meek Mill needs to be on Bobby Lashley's theme song. That is that's his wheelhouse. Him or Ross needs to be on Bobby Lashley's theme song.
100%. Get us.
What you think about the West Side track for the Hurt Business theme song? Though
I think it's pretty good.
With Smoke Dizza,
it works.
It works. Obviously, it's not as good as the WWE one, but it works.
Yeah, I would agree with man.
Sure. I like the hook of it, but they don't got wrestling theme song voices.
That's true. Okay, one thing though I will say about Swerve, guys, is I think there's an argument to be made. He's been the best crossover signing from WWE to AEW as far as improvements concerned. I think that's kind of undeniable. Like what he's shown since he's been in AEW. Yeah. But I realized something last night after he did, like you said, the Cirque du Soleil flip, which was freakishly athletic. And I just didn't expect. It was one of those times where like you don't.
Even the crowd was like,
what was that? Like, I didn't know he had that in the bag. But one of the craziest things about Swerve to me that I didn't necessarily realize before, and I think watching John Jones this weekend is what made it click in my mind. There's a lot of wrestlers out there that have like a real good smirk, like that just absolutely eating grin, that smile like that, like they know something that you don't. Seth Rollins does a pretty good job of that. There's a lot of, CM Punk back in the day had a great one like that. There's a lot. Outside of maybe John Jones and MMA, I don't know anybody that's better at it than Swerve. That smile on his face, I know something you don't know. As he's in the crowd with the camera shot is just like the little things. He's so dang good. Like it's weirdly terrifying. That type of a smile, right? Like I thought the same thing watching Jones.
Dude, he's had it for so long too. Like, I just remember early Swerve when he first came to NXT, and he was a heel before Hit Row when he was going against Leon Ruffin. Like, he had that same just crazy like Joker type of personality as his character as well. Like, people don't give him enough credit, even as much credit he is getting now and how he's being paid and stuff. The dude is remarkable, man. Super talented.
Yeah. So dang good. I mean, and to think of like he had the run with Keith Lee out of the gates, like that feels like it was 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And that's how impressive the run that he's been on is. Like it's just it's fascinating to me. But let's move on to not only our main event of the evening, but literally the main event of the evening from last night. And that is probably the worst name in pro wrestling, Wheeler Yuta. That sounds like a backyard baseball character. What are we doing here? Come on, guys. Like,
That's not as bad as Lord Tensai, but go on.
Honestly, Lord Tensai at least sounds like a video game character that's not, in the kids' baseball video game. I mean, they're both bad. I mean, it's tough. Either way, Wheeler Yuta versus OC, Orange Cassidy, that is. I live in Orange County, so I do have to clarify that one. Orange Cassidy wearing black jeans now, so obviously he's upset. His jeans choice reflects his emotions. He wears tan ones when he's feeling melancholy. But either way,
that's funny.
Cassidy gets the win via roll up against Wheeler Yuta, and then here come the enforcements from the Death Riders, the artists formerly known as maybe the Blackpool Combat Club, but the Death Riders, the new motorcycle gang here in AEW, Marina Shafir being the most intimidating of the bunch. They cruise out and they duct tape this guy's hands in his pockets. They don't even give him the choice. He can't even take them out at this stage. But what's interesting to me about this, and I'm going to go ahead and complain, because I love the idea behind all of this. Don't help me out. I have to stand on my own feet, all of that. We have seen him wrestle with his hands in his pockets. Why didn't he do that stuff when they taped his hands in his? Did the tape prevent him from doing the same things he can do when he's not taped and his hands are in his pockets? That bothered me. It bothered me last night. I do get where everything was coming from. I thought Matt Menard was the MVP this entire segment on commentary. Somebody come out here and help him. Like, it's just great. Menard is on fire. He's honestly the highlight of Wednesday nights currently for me. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on this one. I liked the match a lot. Don't get me wrong. All Out 2023. I was there. Cassidy Moxley main event. After some funk the week before, we all remember Funk from Punk in 2023. So we have some main event changes. It's one of my favorite matches I've ever been at live. So having a rematch for the world title now logically makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if that's how I would have gone about it though last night. There were too many holes. It was too goofy. It was too convoluted and too complicated. And also, the Death Riders were already out of the ring by the time the conglomerate came down to help. Can we at least have them flee the ring, like, as a result of the run-in? I mean, what did they just run in to be like, we're the new medical team? That was confusing to me as well. I did not like that. Shad, I got to ask you your thoughts on it. And then most importantly, I think all three of us should make our pick for that main event before we head out today on a Thursday.
Yeah, so this main event was a good wrestled match, obviously. I think Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy had a solid bout. I like the dynamic of, former faction mates and the best friends. People forget Wheeler Yuta was part of the best friends. He was the friend trying to be one of the best friends. They did well. Wheeler Yuta to me is a strange character because I don't know if I'm supposed to feel empathetic for him because he's just a coward getting punked by a group against his will, or am I supposed to not like him because he's part of the heel faction, but he still shows bits of being a punk and being a babyface? Like, he's just a strange character. I don't know. It ain't my cup of tea, respectfully. Moxley and Cassidy, though, we're building to this feud, and I will say the overarching story that is being told that Moxley is kind of this rebel heart that is going against the system, trying to, fix AEW and his image, and Orange Cassidy being the complete opposite of that. Orange Cassidy displaying what's wrong with AEW and why he feels AEW is kind of in a sunken place. I like it. I think it makes a lot of sense. I like the fact that Orange Cassidy, in a way, you couldn't knock him down. You knocked him down to his feet. It took all of them to take him down. But by himself, in a way, he's able to come back, stand tall. And him being that character that is a, comedy character, a meme character, but has a bit of seriousness to him and is an incredible wrestler and is more of a positive light. I think it makes a lot of sense. But I have issues how we get there. And I think that's my biggest complaint with the Death Riders is they do stuff with these props that are absolutely stupid. They just don't make sense. We're talking about from what they did to Danielson with the plastic bag to hog tying a man with tape. With tape. Tape. You ain't have rope. You ain't got like the steel like chains. We're using tape. Come on, man. How am I supposed to take it serious? Y'all have. You're supposed to be the big bad wolves. These vignettes they cut are freaking amazing. Moxley sounds like a damn philosopher, but when they get to the arena and they try to wreak havoc, they look like absolute fools. And what you said, that Marina Shafir is the most imposing threat on it, is absolutely true. But you got damn Claudio, you got the bastard Pac. What's going on, man? Like, why can't they just do the little things not being done right? It makes us as fans not invested to it. So stuff like that, bro. Hog tying a grown man with duct like it ain't gonna have me invested, bro. It's not gonna have me invested. I'm excited for the match. I do think the storyline is good, but I can't be 100% invested, and that's what kind of lacks for the main event for Full Gear coming on Saturday.
I agree. I would love to see something direction-wise that's just more definitive, Shad. Like, just, what I'd really like to see the Death Riders do is explain. Just go like this. Okay, we're tired of this. This is why we're taking over AEW. We're sick of everything that's going on. This is why we think you're the problem. And then they beat them up. Orange, you're the problem because of this. Just give us a broader reason, and all of this lands heavy. I think that's the one missing piece. Is we get why Orange, we can presume, right? He puts his hands in his pockets. He's got a gimmick like that. He's quiet. He does all these different things. He's the funny guy and whatnot. I don't think it's enough, though, because it's such an easy explanation. All you got to say is like, you're the problem. This is not fun and games anymore. This is combat. And you're the problem. This is why we are attacking you and ridding AEW of you. And I think that makes it even easier for a crowd to get behind Orange. Chaos when it comes to all this. Obviously, we've got the main event. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think there's any chance Orange goes full Rocky and pulls the upset?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm sure you're hoping for me to be the 1% to say yes, he is definitely going to do one of the greatest wins of the year, but nah, this ain't it. In the words of Charlemagne the God, nah, this ain't it, y'all. Yeah, what are we doing here? I'm gonna take one of your lines, Clark. What are we doing here? This Death Rider Mad Max thing that they got going on, it is absolute cringe worthy, and it's just not working. I agree, like you know, all their antics. I don't know about you, but it kind of it has a little essence of, remember that one great group called Retribution, whereas causing all this kind of havoc, all this tipping over like little like worktops and all this stuff, and they're causing havoc and taking out the power supply, and just beating a hammer on the commentator table. And that was them creating, they want change, they want to cause disruption to the system and all that stuff. These guys kind of remind me of that. I really, everything is just a wet fart when it comes to them, and it's because of their antics. I just don't care for it. Wheeler Yuta, like, I agree, he is one of the worst names. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as Michael McGillicuddy, but it's definitely one of the worst names out there. And the guy can't act for crap. He's a good wrestler, but that's all there is to it. And yeah, this Orange Cassidy thing, the fact that they're trying to make him, have a voice, and even there was a segment that he's doing backstage where he was like telling everyone to shut up. No one coming in to interfere with my match. And you got Hero, you got Ishii like in the background. He should be saying like, "Who you raising your voice to, bro? I'll slap the excuse me. I'll slap the crap out of you. Don't try act to me. All you do is just say one word sentences and do a little mediocre thumbs up. Don't try to chat to me about like, don't respect yourself. I mean, calm yourself, not respect yourself. But yeah, this it is what it is. This is the least match I care for, because this whole new persona that it could have had potential, but I feel like it's gone past it now. I do not care what their intentions are. They've completely drained. They suck the atmosphere out of the room, and it's not the good kind.
It's like Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan. They're fun suckers right now. They're sucking the fun out of it.
Basically, I just don't care. And like you say, it's because of their antics. I just don't fear them. They are just people that just need to be humbled. Just suspend them. And like, what the hell's Tony Khan doing in the back?
Yeah,
like,
do something about it. Somebody do something.
Yeah, the trying to take over authority character stuff. They haven't done a good job. It wasn't with keeping it long lasting. It looks cool as it initially happens, and then after the honeymoon phase, it becomes
just like Retribution.
Yeah. Okay, so really quickly, obviously, all three of us sound like we're picking Moxley to win on Saturday. So Kobe's got us with, at this point, he'd prefer Moxley losing to Cassidy. So we'll take that. We got one not on the show, but he does have the wrench, as Shad mentioned previously. Okay,
yeah, Kobe
one
with
more
the wrench
that I want to sneak a topic right before we do finally go home. Ishii. I've been highly critical, deservedly so, of Chris Jericho for months on end when it comes to this show on Thursday. Same with Shad. We all have. Deservedly so.
I know where you're going to go with this, though.
This is the best thing he's done this year.
Yes.
I was tickled. This is the best thing.
Bro.
I was dying laughing. He's just following him. And the way he's turning, it was perfect. That was pure entertainment. It was golden. I enjoyed every second of it.
Highlight of last night's Dynamite was that for sure.
It was funny. Like, I was just tickled. At first, I was like, this is going to be so stupid. You expect like table in the middle of the ring, table spot, whatever. You're not even really totally sure what's going on at first. And just the ways. My favorite was, it was like a, I said this last night, it was like a low speed chase. Like, they're just walking the whole time. It wasn't like a high. Like,
it's two old dudes, man.
Yeah, it's just a low speed chase. Like, they're just walking through the arena and somehow get to there. I was cracking up. I thought that was arguably the best thing that they did last night.
Quick, before you wrap it up, Deontay, you was asking about this shirt. It is not Ryu and Drew McIntyre. It's Ryu and Adam Cole. It's an AEW and Street Fighter shirt. Just wanted to give it, obviously, the ones that leave him hanging. Yeah, they don't sell these anymore. So yeah,
he probably thought
I actually didn't even see
Drew was about to hit the
Claymore.
Claymore, yeah.
It's the last shot. It's not the Claymore. It's the knee and not the bottom of the foot.
Yeah.
That's the key. Also, shout out Alexei Olenek. Ezekiel chokes for life. What a legend. Absolutely. But that does bring us to the end of the show. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you have not liked and subscribed, please do. There's plenty more content here on Wrestling Republic that you need to check out. We've got Take It to the Table. Check out the whole library of that. We've got Sunday Spotlight. We've got Sold Separately. New episode coming out soon as well. Soul Sessions, I know, is dropping soon. We got all kinds of good stuff going on over here at WR. Thank you I already said thank you. I'm thanking too many people, but on behalf of me, Clark Taylor, on behalf of Shad and Chaos, we will talk to everybody soon. Have a great Thursday.